So let's see, I know there's a Muramasa statue later, but I think I'm going into the Test of Valor as is. I don't remember what's in it. Oh! Okay, I remember how to deal with this pretty well. Bye-bye to your chain, to your cannon arm. Wrong arm. Ideally, I take care of the fighters first, because I can get... Okay, that's that. That's that. Okay. Are there any cannons left? Nope. Yo, Rain Vibe. Thanks for following earlier. Appreciate that. Just doing a little bit of I'm just reserving each chapter for a stream. Kind of works well with my minimal available schedule, because fair enough. Ah, shit. Well, this works well with my otherwise very limited schedule to allot to really play games in general. Is Master Ninja takes, if you're not a god at Ninja Gaiden 2, Master Ninja takes so long to do. Wrong arm. Yeah, they're really weird. You gotta aim your incendiary from the opposite side to hit the arm you want. Okay, gotta. Let's just let them gather up. I'm impressed that didn't hit me, to be honest. I feel like in even some other Team Ninja games that would have hit me. It is really weird also to go between this and Sigma 2 and by extension NG2 Black when like XY on the lunar, or light heavy I guess, in this game is like that, but in all the other versions of this game it's a launcher. I have played all of the 3D Ninja Gaiden games except for Vanilla 3. I have not played Vanilla 3. From what I've heard, I'm not missing anything in my life for not doing that. Razor's Edge is the... Well, I haven't done Sigma 2 either, in fairness, or by extension 2 Black, but I haven't beaten the highest difficulty in Razor's Edge or Sigma 2. You should... Given that you might already own R3 from the Master Collection, it's probably worth it, and I think Razor's Edge on its own tends to be pretty cheap. It will piss you off. I'll tell you this much. Yeah, if you already have the Master Collection, you might as well. Some people actually like 3 the best, or Razor's Edge the best out of them. I'm not one of them, but I can definitely see the appeal, because it actually does attempt to do something a little more than just be this game again. It has a lot of things that are really annoying to deal with, but there are some things about it that I do think are genuinely good, and I would like to see them refine in a future game. Will it piss you off for good reasons? It will piss you off for good reasons and for bad reasons. I think the loop of, like, if you can, of, like, baiting out and chaining Steel on Bone, because Steel on Bone is, like, in Razor's Edge, Steel on Bone is basically a counter-attack to specific attacks that you can chain into instant kills, or at least high damage on larger enemies. So getting a Steel on Bone chain going, and then leveraging that into a Bloody Rage, which is the only time the game lets you do an instant ultimate technique, is pretty cool, honestly. I like it. There's one of those spider things left. Yeah, I think you should give it a try. I know that there was someone who is a big fan of it who didn't appreciate me mentioning that it's they didn't appreciate me saying that it's impressive for something that was thrown together in a few months over the bones of base Ninja Gaiden 3, because they think it's a great game in its own right. I think the attitude people have where you should, quote, evaluate a game on its own merits, I think that's a little misguided. Evaluating things for the context, in the context they come around in, is part of critical analysis, you know? Played in GS2, but felt so bad without the gore. Yeah, I mean, you know. Mods. I have been meaning to check out Sigma 2 Black. I need to try them on non-PC consoles, or try to play them more with different controllers in general, because I've noticed that it's really bad in Razor's Edge, but it's also a thing in whatchamacallit, in Sigma 2, that input drops and just general unresponsiveness seem to be extra bad in certain circumstances, and it could literally just be a me problem from my controller. But like, how do I put it? Like, I'd like to take your head off. Can I take your head off? Can I take your head off? Can I take either of your heads off? Oh! I cannot. Okay. Well, anyway. Yeah, I think I would say my experience with input drops in 2 Black has been comparable to my experience with input drops in Sigma 2 and in which I know JTB has mentioned them a lot. I know he's also not as familiar with Sigma 2, so that could be part of it. But it's a thing in Sigma 2 and Razor's Edge as well that I've noticed. Now, like I said, I don't know if that is all versions of... That should have been multiple... That should have been level 2 ultimate technique, not level 1. Anyway, I'm not sure if it also applies on consoles or if it's just a PC thing and like the combination of my controller with things. Are we... Is this Test of Valor over now? That's cool. This didn't take anywhere near as long as the previous one did. If you know the trick to remove the cannons from these guys' arms, I'd say this is easier than the first Test of Valor. Really, the first Test of Valor is all about setting it up. Once you delim all of the enemies and make it so that only the mages are still mobile, you can start picking them off one at a time, and it's way more bearable. You just gotta play a little carefully. Alright. Well, that was pretty smooth in first try.